All right. Well, good evening and welcome, everyone. Appreciate you having us on here on the call tonight. And we're going to have a great call. We're very excited. We have a very credible, very experienced trader live on here with us. But more importantly, it's not just that he is a great trader, it's that he has successfully gotten his account funded by other people's money. I mean, we've all heard of that idea, but here's a gentleman who's actually done it. Not only has he done it for himself, he's done it for other people, which I think is fantastic. So that's what we're all excited about. He's here to make it a reality for all of us that might want to make it a reality. This idea that you can either become a trader and learn, which he can teach you to do if you choose to do that. You can be in total control of your funds. He will also give you an option where he can pass the exam for you and trade for you, right? So wherever you're at, he's going to provide you an option on all fronts that's going to work really well. I'm really excited to get some background noise there, friends. I'm just going to block that out. So without further ado, we have our friends, Mr. Lots, or as I like to call him, Mr. Big Lots. Oh, sorry, guys. Also known as Eduardo. Eduardo hails from Peru. He is also a very credible trainer. He's got an excellent, very public track record trading for the IX platform as well. So that's one of the reasons why I like having him on here. There's a lot of trust, a lot of credibility, a lot of mutual people. He also belongs to a lot of the same communities that you and I do. So without further ado, Eduardo, muchas gracias. We really appreciate you coming on here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I won't go into Spanish just to prove that I can do it. We'll go with English since most people are English on here, but tell us a little bit about yourself. You're on mute, buddy. I can see your video, but you're...
Yeah, I'm good now. Can you hear me all?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So first things, thank you, Terry. And well, welcome everybody to this interview. Thanks for the words over there. Well, I'm, as Terry said, born in Peru. I was raised in Switzerland, so I've kind of lived on other side of the world. And I got involved with trading around 6 years ago. This is my 6th year. And it was quite interesting the way I got involved because it was through an MLM opportunity. At that time, we're talking about 2017. I don't know about in the States or any other part of the world, but in Peru, trading or making money online was not something normal, right? You said, hey, I'm making money online, and people were looking weird at you. It's the same time as for those who are crypto enthusiasts, Bitcoin was sitting at around $300, $400. So there was not this digital boom that we all now know, right? And I got with a friend at Starbucks, classic MLM meeting, right? And he showed me his phone. And he was like, hey, you know what? You can make money from your phone. You're trading with the markets. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street and something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I was 21 years old. And he sold me like the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm going to go to New York to trade big money. And that's how I got involved. Obviously, it's not the way it is, right? Trading is everything opposite to that movie and whatever you can think of. But with 21 years old and at college, I got involved into trading through an MLM opportunity back in the day. Yeah.
So now, what kind of stuff do you like to trade? What are some of the options that people can trade for those who don't know much about trading? Give them just a short background of, everyone's heard of trading, but what are you actually doing and where are you making the money?
Sure. So I started with Forex. Okay. So Forex means foreign exchange. Is the market where all currencies are being traded. If, for instance, and actually all of you already have participated inside of the Forex market. If you're in the States and you come to Peru, we have US dollars, but our local currency is called the Peruvian sol. So you need to exchange your US dollars for Peruvian soles. Or if you're going to go to Europe, you need to exchange your dollars for euros, right? That exchange is Forex. Now, we do it as people. The companies do it, right? Because you maybe have some of these phones. Well, these are made in China, but this is an American brand. So when you buy an iPhone at your Apple store in your city, you're also doing Forex because Apple pays their employees in China with dollars or with Chinese yuan. They pay them with yuans. So they're also exchanging currencies. The government, right? What happened with COVID when that started? The government starting printing money. They're also part of the market. So I started with Forex, which is the biggest market. But then once I got the skill, I found out that the same skill I developed for Forex, I could use in other markets. For instance, as today I am a teacher, or what I call an expert, a market expert inside of IX Global, which has trading as, to study and to learn and to copy from the traders. And I teach two markets, which are called binary options and synthetic indices. So there are multiple ways to trade inside of the markets. You can trade stocks, you can trade crypto, you can trade Forex. I have the skill to trade everything. If it has supply and demand and a chart, I can trade it, right? Obviously, I'm going to go for the most liquid markets. Which are the most liquid markets? Forex, because the amount of money that is involved, it moves around $6.6 trillion a day. That's around 28 to 29 times more the volume in a month of the New York Stock Exchange. It's huge. I trade some stocks, like I bought Facebook when it crashed last year to 150, and I just bought Facebook and I left it there. I don't look at it until it hits $400, $500. Maybe then I'll sell, right? I buy stocks that I like, and I know they're gonna go huge in market cap. But that's not my thing, because stocks, they're kind of boring for me because they don't have much liquidity. And then you have other markets like the synthetic market, which is very popular for low-income people, because you can start with as little as $50, $100. And that for developing countries is very nice, right? A lot of people want to be part of, hey, I only have $100, I have $200. Nice, you can start with it. Or for instance, binary option, which is very easy to copy and paste because you need to press just one button. If it's buy, you press the green button. If it's a sell, you press the red button. There's nothing else to know. In other markets, you need to have a little bit more of knowledge and the terms you use and the leverage and those type of things that are not hard, but need to learn them. Binary options, for example, is very easy because you literally just press one button and that's it.
So on binary, so when you said it's that simple, you also, or there are in existence signal-based services where someone will tell you what buttons to go press and when to go press them, correct?
Yeah, like I do 3 hours, 2-3 hours a week inside of IX Global on my channel. You can join my class and we'll analyze the market together. And I'm gonna tell you, hey, you know what? I'm seeing opportunity at the euros against the dollars. Once we hit this price, we press the green button and we make sure it's a 5-minute buy, for example. And I'm gonna tell you when I press the button and you press the button in your account, at your home, on your account at the same time as I do. If I win, you win. If I lose, you lose. Obviously, I need to make sure that if I send out 10 trades, I at least make 6 or 7 out of the 10 to be in the profit zone. But yeah, I actually do that on a weekly basis.
Right, and I have seen your weekly numbers. They're very, very impressive. Your trading ratios are excellent. So let's talk about the funded trading account. What is a funded trading account? Because people want to understand that part of it. And how could they trade other people's money? For most people, that seems like such a foreign concept. Like they could make big profits using somebody else's money is just incredible. So give us a little background on that and what that would look like or could look like for people.
Sure. So the biggest, the way I see it, and I think this is maybe one of the biggest entry barriers you have when you get into trading, right? Because one thing is to learn the skill set, right? Be able to make 2, 3, 4% of your account. You don't need to make 20% on a monthly basis. That's something that sadly is being sold on Instagram and social media, and that's BS, right? If you can make 1, 2, 3% a month, you're good. The only problem is that it's not the same making 3% a month on a $1,000 account than on a $10,000 account or on a $100,000 account, or on $1 million, right? Now, if I ask you, how many of you do have 100K sitting there waiting to be traded by your own? Maybe none of you, or maybe some of you, but are you gonna be willing to risk your own money knowing that you're at the curve of knowledge at the beginning stages? Probably not, right? So you just want to make sure you make the best out of that money. So that's the biggest challenge that people have. How much money do I have to invest? How big is my trading account? And prop firms solve that issue, because if you are a profitable trader, that means that you have a strategy that works over time, and you know how to manage your risk, because that is fundamental when we talk about prop firms, risk management. If you know how to trade and you know how to manage risk, then you can apply for those accounts, which are big accounts. I'm talking 10K, 25K, 50K, 100K, 200K, 300K. There's some firms that allow you to have up to $500,000. Obviously, that's a simulated account. It's not real money, right? But you can have one of those accounts if you pass the
Oh, shit.
which is basically trading and showing up those accounts. So that's why you can make with a $100,000 account. Let's say you make 3%, that's $3,000. You can keep 60, 70, 80% out of that, and they keep the rest. That's how the business model works.
Yeah, that's incredible, right? Because if you can make several $1,000s a month without risking any of your own, and putting in very minimal time, and in some cases maybe no time, that's just unbelievable. So why don't we jump straight into? I know you have some screen sharing stuff to show people, so it feels real, and we're not just talking about hypothetical scenarios. And then you can talk to them about how they could personally participate afterwards. So I set you up for sharing on there. So I know you wanted to share us some screenshot stuff.
Let me check if I think I can.
Let's just make it real for people, and then we can after talk about what people's options about how they can get it for themselves personally.
So let's look for the most popular prop firm in the market. This is the oldest. Okay, they are the first ones that got involved, and until today they keep one of the biggest. They're called FTMO. So if you go over here and you go where it says trading objectives, so you can choose different currencies, right? You can have a dollar-based account, British-based account, euros, Czech, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar, Swiss franc. Choose whatever you want. You can choose the amount, right? 10K, 25K, 50, 100, 200. I'm just gonna choose a 100, so it's kind of straight. This is like the usual standard in the industry. And then you see here it says step 1, FTMO challenge. Step 2, verification challenge, and then step 3, you become an FTMO trader. So trading period, this is how long do I have to pass the exam, right? Previously, and I'm talking maybe 6 months ago or less, usually the standard of the industry was 30 days. You have 30 days to accomplish X amount of returnment on the account. If you don't do that, you fail the exam. But some prop firm just said, hey, we're gonna do unlimited. And after that, everybody started to change this to unlimited. So in this case, trading period, unlimited. So they basically tell you, take your time as long as you want. This is good because the pressure is strong if you have only 30 days. Then minimum trading days. You should at least trade 4 days. So don't do one home run all in and you make it in 1 day. That doesn't count. At least 4 trading days. And then it says here maximum daily loss. So you have a max daily loss, which is 5%, right? 5,000, 5% out of 100,000. If I go to a $200,000 account, guess what? My daily loss is still 5%. So make sure you always look at this percentage-wise. Forget about the zeros. Sometimes when you're trading and you're looking at the zeros, you're like, oh my gosh, $5,000. Forget about the zeros. Okay, just imagine it's $1,000 account. and your max daily loss is $50. That's the way you work on your psychology, for instance. So max daily loss, 5K for all of these scenarios. First step, two step, third step. Then max loss. So the worst it can get is 10%. If I go under $90,000, I'm done. I lose my account. Profit target, what I should get, in this case is 10% for the first stage, 5% for the second stage, and then unlimited on the FT mode trader stage. You make profits on the third stage. So in this case, this company, they ask you to make 10% the first account, 5% on the second account, and then the third account is the one you can trade and make profit out of it. In this case, they charge you 540 euros for a $100,000 account. And this is a refundable fee if and only if you pass step 1, step 2, and at step 3, you are able to make profit and withdraw. With your first withdrawal, they include your fee back. So you make back what you paid for the account. And this is interesting because a lot of people, and this is statistic, a lot of people, once they pass 1 and 2, I don't know what happens in their brains, but they get so excited they're at your real account and they never withdraw the money, because they lose it at the final stage and they just lose everything. So it's interesting. It's interesting how the mind works and how your psychology can actually trigger you against.
Yeah, right. People
Okay.
sabotage a lot of times too, right? So unfortunately, it's real.
Yeah, it is real. And then you have multiple companies. So this, for example, this is Funds Cap. I've used this one. I actually have a client with this account. They, for example, they charge you a little bit less. They charge you $489. They ask you for minimum trading days, 3 days. Then you have your max daily loss is 1% more. So you have 6% for the daily loss, 12% overall. Profit target is also less at the first stage. It's a little bit cheaper. And yeah, you have your 100, 200, $500,000. And then you have like the funded trader. I'm just showing you different companies that are good, that I've made withdrawals out of them. I know they're legit, right? Because you also have scams. And this is important for you to know. Not everything you see is rose red, right? There are scam companies around and they tell you, oh yeah, we just ask you for one challenge. And the second you're funded and you trade, you pass, and you never get your money. So just make sure that if you decide, you do your due diligence, you do your homework, and you join a company that's long enough and that is going to pay you. So here, for example, this company has different challenges, right? So they have, for example, the standard challenge, they have the royal challenge, and then they have the rapid challenge. Then they have the night challenge. You see here, this is a one-phase challenge. So it is shorter, I would say. You have the Dragon Challenge where you have weekly payouts instead of monthly, and then they scale it up to 1.5 million. So I can buy 600K in challenges, but I can scale my profits up to 1.5 million. Okay, so those are different things to take into consideration. So then you can see, navigate around. Again, we'll choose 100K as a reference. For instance, Royal Challenge, minimum trading days 5, virtual profit target. So your target is 8% first phase, 5% for the second phase, max daily loss, max loss 10%, daily loss 5%. Can I hold over the weekend? So can I leave my trade open on Sunday all the way to the next week? Yes, you can for the Royal. Can I use expert advisors? So these are EAs, right? Bots. Yes, you can. And then you have drawdown type, equity balance, and different things. And if you go, for example, to the night challenge, you see that this is only one phase. There are things that change. If you go to the standard challenge, for instance, you see that here the virtual profits are larger, right? Look, I go to the $100,000 account, my virtual profits are more, it's 10 instead of 8, but my challenge is cheaper. So $4.99, and if I go here, this should be a little bit more expensive. Oh no, it's actually cheaper, this one. So yeah, there are different things on different type of accounts, and you can just choose whatever fits best for you, right? Oh, so you have no expert advisors on the standard, for instance.
Well, it's very
That's what a
interesting.
prop firm is and looks like.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I mean, for $500, you could get access to, let's say, 100,000, and then easily, if you, with some skill or some help, easily make that back every single month on a 100K account for easy, simple math. So let's talk about what happens. What do you say to the people right now who are watching and saying, okay, but Eduardo, I don't have any trading skills. I don't really want to learn. I don't have a lot of time on my hands. Let's just talk about how those people could still benefit now. And then we can address the people who feel like they have trading skills and knowledge already.
Sure. So before I jump into what I wanted to share, just to add to what you were saying, the risk here, because people always ask me, hey, what's my risk, right? When you put money into a broker, no matter how regulated the broker is, your money is already at risk. Tomorrow, a crash happens, something explodes in the world. I don't know, whatever can happen after 2020. We literally can expect everything from this world, right? Whatever happens, once your money is out of your pocket, it's at risk. Whatever happens, broker just goes bankruptcy, I don't know. In this case, your risk is those $489. You cannot lose anything else, right? If you blow up the account, what is your loss? $489 or $500 or whatever you paid for your account. That's important because I'm paying $500 and I have a $100,000 account. I can make maybe 2-3 withdrawals, and at my 4 month, I blow my account. No matter, I take 500 out of my pocket, I go fund myself, I pass the exam, and I'm funded again, and I can restart the process, right? So for people that don't have the time or don't have the experience, one of the services I provide, because not only I am a teacher inside of IX Global, but besides I have my own private hedge fund here in Peru. And for people that don't have much money, and with much money, I'm talking less than $5,000, it's more convenient to get a funded account instead of putting in $1,000. For example, I did last year, I closed my year at roughly 27-28%. If you have $1,000 and you invest in my hedge fund, you make 28% in a year. That's $280. That's your gas for a month if you have a big truck, right? So you won't make any money. But what happens if you have $20,000? The thing changes. So for people that have not much money, 5,000 or less as an investment, I prefer to give them funded accounts because now they have a bigger volume and they can make more money out of it. And obviously they're not trading. I am the one that trades the account, or one of my team members. I have 4 traders that trade with me. I get every morning since 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. with them. We trade together. We have our accounts split. We have a department, well, of risk management, what I called, and we divide our accounts so we can make, on a monthly basis, I like to make 2 to 3% and secure the withdrawals. Okay, I'm not going to make 30% in a month because I want to make sure you get paid. If I make 30% in a month, prop firms are going to maybe look for that mistake to not pay you. That's the reality. Their business is the less I can pay people, the better for me, right? So I want to make sure you get paid. How do you get paid? If I stick to the rules and if I can make 2-3% on a consistently basis, instead of seeking that one home run once in a lifetime of 30% and never get it. So that's my goal and the policy I use when it comes to funded accounts.
So how, give us the general gist of how someone would participate. Let's say they don't have a license, don't have the skills, would prefer to have somebody trading for them. And they don't want to learn how to pass the exam themselves? Because I know you do help people with that. So what does that look like?
Okay, so first things first, you need to choose in which company you want to have your account, right? If you want to have a fast account, there are companies that get you, I can get you funded in 48 hours, 96 hours. So if people like speed, there are accounts that can you get funded in a week or less. Maybe you want weekly withdrawals or bi-weekly withdrawals. Okay, there's other companies that have those features. Maybe you want to have high payouts from the beginning. I want to have 80% payout from the beginning, 90% payout, because you can scale that up. Usually you start at 50-50, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10. So maybe you tell me, no, I want to get 80-20 from the beginning. Okay, let's look for a company that fits with you. Oh no, you are a US citizen. Not everybody. That's because our three letters agency friends, they like to participate in all of the companies. So we need to look at what fits best for you. That will be step number one. Then step number two, you buy your account, right? That's a cost that the client assumes. And then we have a cost that covers the passing challenge. So I buy you a VPN for trading. Those are fast enough for us to trade. So I buy you a VPN, so you have your own IP address. We pass the exam for you. So we do the challenge, we do the trading, we do all of that. And once you're funded and you get your contract, you sign your contract under your name, the account is under your name, everything is under your name. I do a contract with you that says all of the things we're agreeing on, right? Because we have some rules. And once we sign that, you give us the real account credentials and we start trading. I give you bi-weekly reports. If we're in profit, or if we've lost, if we haven't traded, whatever the result is, I get with you on a Zoom call. We go over your account bi-weekly, and then once you're ready to withdraw, we make the withdrawal. The money comes into your account. We usually use crypto. It's fast, and you can use crypto anywhere in the world. And then it's your responsibility to send over the management fee that we have compliant.
Okay. So, friends, just to summarize, if you don't have any trading skill, if you don't have any interest in learning trading, if you don't really want to learn this stuff and you don't have to, he'll also pass the exam for you, do the trading for you, share the profits with you, and you can literally have passive income doing very, very little, right? This is pretty damn close to passive. So that's pretty awesome. What happens? What about people who have some trading background, but they're not sure if they could pass the exam, but they want to trade their own accounts, all that stuff? What does that look like for them?
So same thing, just that the service is shorter, right? So again, we get on, we look for the account that fits best for you. And since you're going to trade, one of the things I add to that service is that once you're funded, I get on the call with you and I guide you through the rules. So I make sure you have all of the tools to go to war and you don't die at the first battle. You have everything in your side. Now it depends on you how aggressive you want to go with your risk, what you trade, how you trade, from who you copy, right? Maybe you have your active subscription at our company. Go to our trading channels. We have amazing traders. You can hop on, you can copy their alerts, you can get on their classes, make money with them, and just copy what they send out, put that into your account. Obviously, you need to have some knowledge, right? You need to have the basic knowledge, and then copy, paste, win, withdraw. And the service would be, I guide you through, you buy the account, I pass the exam for you, so you don't have to do it. And then that finishes once you have your contract and you're signing the contract and you're getting your funded account. We go over the rules and make sure that you have all set to start the real account.
So the good news is if someone is not an experienced trader, but they want to, there's just an ocean of not only knowledge and training, but the ability within a platform to literally get someone telling you which trades they're making, when they're making them, what trades they're making. So Eduardo, one more question on the trading front then. If someone does have a funded account, are they free to trade in any market they choose? If they feel more comfortable with, let's say, crypto versus Forex, can they choose to do that?
So not every prop firm has the same assets. There are some companies, for example, that allow you to trade crypto, for instance. And there are some companies that have crypto, but they close on Friday. Because prop firms work on a CFD market. CFD means contract for difference. So you're buying a contract at a price. Let's say I buy Bitcoin at 35,000 and I buy one contract. And Bitcoin goes to, I think right now it's at 39K. For each contract I have $4,000 of profit. So there are some companies that allow you to trade crypto or stocks or whatever they have available, but they close on Fridays at evening with the banks. So you cannot trade on weekends. But there are other companies that have crypto and they are 24/7. So you can trade basically 24/7. So again, each company has its own perks. You need to choose the one that fits what you're looking for.
I got you. Another great question. Do they have their own charts or are you using TradingView?
Okay, good question. So, for example, there are some companies, so for example, Next Step Funded, they are working on a broker called 8cap. And if you go on TradingView, you have a liquidity provider. And let me show this to you because this is important. So, for instance, this is my TradingView, right? And I'm right now looking at euro dollar. Next to the euro dollar and the time frame, there's the liquidity provider that's providing me with this chart. Now I can go over here and I can put euro dollar 8 cap. Or I can just put 8 cap. Maybe that's gonna be. It's not going. Let's put, okay, so here, for example, I put euro dollar and then you have tons of ways to look, right? It's all the same, but everyone has their own liquidity provider. So Oanda, Forex.com, I see 8 cap, it's right here. So I'll choose euro dollar for 8 cap because it's the same price as my broker because my prop firm is using this broker. But if not, some companies use random brokers that nobody knows. Then you just need to look at the market, which ones are the most similar. I use, for example, FXCM to trade Forex. And then to trade indices, I use capital.com or Black Bull, whatever is best. I have both, for example, Black Bull and capital.com. So you'll just find the one that is exactly with the same price assets.
Okay, and we're going to open up the lines for questions shortly, friends. So if you want to get your minds ready or you want to start dropping the questions in the chat, that's fine. But Eduardo, was there any other screenshots and stuff you wanted to show us? Just wanted to, I know you had some things you wanted to show. I wasn't sure if you got through them all.
Yeah, so this is my trading phone. Let me just show you a little bit of how the accounts actually look at. We had a very nice last week in this one. So I just want to make sure that you see how this looks like on our side. So these are all client accounts. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a moment. Obviously, past results do not guarantee future profits. That's an important disclaimer for you to know. But we've been doing this for years. So although we might have maybe a bad week or a slow week, or worst case scenario, even a bad month, I don't know, we do have overall profits in general. So for example, this client, this is an account in Cortana. So this is a funded account. He started with me last year, late December. Yeah, so 17 November, sorry. As you can see, we had a couple of wins, couple of losses. The first withdrawal he made was at $975. So he made almost 1% of the account. Obviously, that's the gross withdrawal, right? You need to consider the management fee, what the platform keeps, and whatever. But he made the first of 1% almost. Then we kept trading. We withdrew on the 15th, so last week, $1,578. And then right now we already have made $1,800. So today I made $2,400. This account is already $4,400 up. So this client, he made already his money, he's already the profit area, and we all have won with this account. Actually, he's buying more because he loved the service. Then I have, for example, this one. This is a $200,000 account. He's also involved with us since late November. So yeah, a little bit less, I would say. Sorry, a little bit more. So I think this is, yeah, so 23rd of November. So we have here wins, losses, wins. So first withdraw, $2,147. He withdrew 1% of the account. And then December was a slow month, but then we managed to make last week like $2,000, and now the account is $2,800 in profit. So overall, almost $5,000. That's roughly 2.5% in 2.5 months. And considering December, which is a very slow month. Now he already asked for the withdrawal. I'm just waiting for withdrawal to process and then start again trading. And this is what every account looks like. Obviously, some have more, some have less, but we're looking always to get 1 to 2 to 3%. And I always ask the client, right? I had a client that he wrote me and told me, hey, you know what? I need money. I had an emergency. The account was getting to 1%. And I was like, okay, if we withdrew, you're going to get this. You want to keep us trading for 1 more week, or you want to withdraw? He was like, no, please, I have the emergency. Okay, no problem. I checked everything. He was ready to withdraw. He made the withdrawal. Money came in, started again, right? So communication is key here. There are no rules. Everything's flexible. What we want to make sure is that you have profits. I don't want to tell you the fairy tale story. Yeah, you're going to make $10,000 a month. Maybe unless you have, I don't know, two $400,000 accounts, we can make that, right? But I want to make sure you have one income extra to what you're doing coming in every single month. If you're part of our community and you are making money investing with debt and everything, we want to make sure maybe this puts in the money for your NFTs, right? Maybe this is going to keep buying you different tokens. I've been buying tokens and stacking up tokens with all of the money I've made from prop firms. Only prop firms have stacked up my portfolio, and I know I'm gonna 10x, 20x if everything's good by the next 12 months, just by investing and moving my profits from one place to the other. And you also can do that, right?
Eduardo, there's some questions popping up in the chat, but I have one that I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds. Why wouldn't you just go straight to a $500,000 account? Because you showed some of those places had them. Like, why wouldn't you go for what's the downside of going for the largest account that they offer, right? So that way there, if you're only making 1, 2, 3%, it ends up being that 10 grand a month because you're trading a big stack.
So the main issue is money for the people. A $500,000 account is average $2,500 plus the exams and the VPS, and in the end you're paying like $4,000. So down here in Latin America, people to invest $4,000, it's not that easy. So people usually start with a $100,000 account. Some can do $200,000 account. Those are the most like popular. And then what they do is after the first or second withdrawal that they secured some money, they go and try to save to get another $200,000 account and start building up a portfolio of $400 or maybe $500,000. That should be the main kind of barrier.
Okay, but the 100K account is around that $500 like you were showing us earlier.
Yeah, I think 450, 460 the cheapest, and I don't know what 600 the most expensive, but usually they're all the same, right? Because the perks is the thing that varies from one account to the other.
I got you. There's a bunch of questions coming up in the chat. I can either read them or you can read them, whatever feels most comfortable for you.
Yeah, I was looking at Cal says, do you use MT4 with all firms? So it depends. Some firms have only MT4. I need to use MT4 with that. If I can use MT5, I'll use MT5. It's better for me, and it's also smoother when it comes to VPNs. So it depends on what we have available. What's the management fee, the min and the max to invest? So the minimum we use are $100,000 accounts. I don't use less accounts because I have limited, let's say, spots available for me and my team to trade. And I cannot just give I want to be mean, but I cannot put a spot with a $25,000 account for a trader. He's going to make what, $200 maybe, when I can give him a $200,000 account and make him make more money, and obviously he's going to make the client more money. So we work with $100,000 accounts and above, and then the management fee that we have is 50-50. So whatever comes after the prop firm takes its cut, we split it 50-50. With that, you cover your VPN, so that's on a monthly basis, we pay for that. We have the trader's salary, the commissions over profit if he has made it a good month, and whatever extra cost we have is all covered within that 50%. And the other half is all net for you. Okay. What else?
Carry on with the questions, friend. This call's for you. I'm just learning.
Yeah, whatever question you have, if it's an uncomfortable question, I don't mind. I'm here to answer anything. So happy to respond. Is being an IX member a requirement? No, those are two different things, right? I love the community. I love IX because it has given me a lot, but it doesn't have anything to do because we know that not everybody that's watching this recording is an IX member. If you want to trade by your own and you're asking me, hey, how could I get it education or watch your course or whatever, I'm obviously going to recommend you go get involved with IX because we have everything. But if you don't have a membership or you just want to have something passive, it's not a requirement. You trade futures accounts? No. The only futures I've traded is crypto on Binance. But no, I usually, CFD covers everything. Like if you mean the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, you can trade that on the CFD market. Gold, silver, oil, whatever asset you think of, you actually have them available in the CFD market. And the leverage is bigger. Obviously, it's a higher risk, but if you know what you're doing and you manage your risk wisely, it's actually, for me, it's easier to trade on the CFDs. And yeah, fees are much lower because you're paying based on the spread, and the spread is something we consider inside of the trade. So actually, we send the fee back to the market on the trade. We don't pay for it. The trade does it. So yeah.
Go ahead, friends. I'm learning along with you. So feel free. I want you guys all to have the opportunity to ask your questions, whatever's on your mind about the pros, the cons, the small details, whatever's on your mind. Feel free to drop them in the chat.
What do we do next to set up cash flow with your traders? What do you mean with to start? Oh, to start. So hit me up. You can text me on Telegram. I think that's the way we're all connected, or Instagram. I don't know what's easier for you. And then we'll schedule a meeting so we can talk a little bit. You can give me your goals, get everything sorted out, and then start helping you out.
Yeah, if you guys need help getting connected, I can easily connect you on there. So
Do you have a VIP Telegram that you send your trade signals to, or is that exclusively with IX? Yeah. As for now, I have all of my trading services exclusive with IX. I do not trade Forex for IX. I trade binary options and synthetic indices, and then everything that's Forex involved, I trade my own account, my hedge funds account, and the funded accounts only for my clients. So nobody actually has my signals. I don't send signals. I just put the trade by myself. And for IX, I trade other markets. But we have amazing traders inside of IX for Forex. So if you have a membership, I can give you some channels I recommend.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you are in IX and you want to, maybe they want to use your service for 2024, and maybe they want to use 24 as a learning year so they can trade on their own in 25, let's say. A lot of people are very overwhelmed, like in IX. Like, where do you start? What would you recommend if you're a brand new person where all of this sounds like Chinese to them? Where do you start when you're in IX? Where do you go first? Where do you go second? How does someone accelerate that learning curve and make it shorter?
Okay, so let me share my screen here. So one of the things I like is that the course I've developed, it's for binary options, but if you are a Forex student and you're watching if you watch the course, you can apply 90% or maybe 95% of what I teach you to the market, right? There's just some things you need to tweak and change, but as a whole, you should be able to look at it. So you want to go into X Live. This is actually free. The platform is free, right? The courses, you need to have a subscription, but you can create an account for free, xliveclub.com. And then you just want to go where it says your courses. You want to click on courses, which is the third icon. And then the third course in the first row, which is called Binary Options Mastery. So this is my course for binary option. You just want to enroll here and start watching the videos. And then you can get on my classes. We're 3 times a week online. You can get on my classes and ask the questions you didn't understand from the videos. And right now, for this next 4 or 5 weeks, we're doing a course recap boot camp. So on Sundays night, I do recaps with the students and I send them homeworks. They need to give me analysis from the week and I correct and see what are they doing. So I see if they're doing the right thing or they're doing something totally wrong or they're doing something upside down. Whatever they do, I look at their analysis and I try to work over that. So that's for me the best way you can learn. And obviously we don't have that many students, so it's kind of a more 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 sessions, right? We have that for this couple of weeks, so I make sure that the students I have right now are ready to go. So this is my course. You can enroll here. You have multiple different courses, right? You have basic concepts on Forex. I think this is Spanish only. But then you have the Empire IX, which is also good with Zay Molina. I actually recommend him a lot. And yeah, that should be it. But you can watch my course, and with my course, you should be able to understand more than the basics of the market and just start changing some small stuff when it comes to when do I enter the market, stop losses, take profits, because we don't have that in binary options. Binary options is time-based trading. I enter the market with a specific time expiration, and I don't care if the price moves 1 point or 50 points in my favor. As long as it ends by the time expiration in my favor, I win, and you get a payout out of that. So kind of a little bit different than the CFD market.
Couple more questions. Just show up in the chat. I'll let you grab those.
Yeah, I came in late to the call. When you were talking about returns, what is your annual average return? Where are you located? Right now, I'm living in Peru. I've been in between Ecuador and Peru for the last months, but right now I'm in Peru at least for this year, unless something happens, right? Unless debt hits $1,000. But yeah, I'm busy right now based in Peru. And my average annual return, so for my hedge fund, we closed 27% 2023. I closed 21% 2022. I closed 31% 2021, and I closed 67% in 2020.
Right.
And
So
before that, I was trading by my own, so no management.
yeah, whatever happens in the markets does affect the profits for sure. So, well, those are great returns. There's nothing wrong with that at all, especially if it's all passive. So, I also see Bill had a question here about how much might be a monthly profit, what it might look like.
So if I assume an average rate of it to so let me just give you the average number. So let's say you have a 2%, that's 4K, then times 0.7. Yeah, you're like at $1,500 around with a 2% on a 70% payout, which is on average the second payout. On the third month, you're on an 80% payout. So companies pay out 80%. That will be 3,200. So yeah, you're like at almost at the third month with 2.5%, you're above 2K.
Right. So interesting that the firms are going to pay out more and more as time goes on, as you're making profit for them and for yourself.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them start at 50-50, then they go to 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, and then they at the beginning you need to withdraw every 21 days or every 30 days. Then they lower it to every 14 days, and then once you're kind of a premium trader, you can withdraw once a week. So different features they have depending on what you're looking for.
Right. And you can guide people on picking all that stuff if they decide to move forward. You help guide them which firm makes best for them. So that's good. All right, friends, any last questions? I'd like to try and keep it to the hour here if we can, but if you have any last minute questions, certainly want to give you the opportunity.
Are there more fees the more often you take profits? No, it's just percentage wise always the same. So actually, I don't recommend withdrawing once a week because you're not going to win every week, right? So last month, for example, in December, I have one trader, he only traded until the 15th of December, so until the second week, and then he didn't trade until January. And he made break even the first week, he won the second week, and then all the way until the 3rd of January, he didn't touch the accounts. So if I have a client that has an account that it's available to withdraw on a weekly basis, that month he just doesn't withdraw until the next month, right? And that's because, well, we have holidays and stuff like that. But as a whole, I try to educate the clients to get, if you can, once a month. If we had a beautiful week and we already make 2K or 2% like this client I just showed you on the trade on the MetaTrader, if he wants, he can already withdraw, right? We already make 2%, cash that out, we start again because we had a nice week. We're Tuesday, so we still have 3 more trading days. But once a week, it's not something I would recommend because maybe you lose the first week and then you make money the second week, but that second week you made money back is just to go back and break even, have some space around to move, right? Or if I make $500 on a $100,000 account, so 0.5%, I want to leverage my wins and I want to risk my wins and not balance off my account. So those are just like trading strategies. I want to make sure that I have some leverage to, if I lose, I'm going to lose the profit, and I make sure I don't lose my balance so I can end up the week break even and start the next one again. So just small things, but everything's, I think communication is key, right? Like the example I gave, the client had a problem with an emergency. He told me, hey, I need to withdraw, and just happens to have that his withdrawal was 3 days away, and we told him, okay, you're good to go, make the withdrawal. So yeah, everything's flexible.
Okay. Well, we're coming up on the hour, friends, so I'm going to wrap it up for today. But if you still have questions or need to get connected, let me know. And maybe we could do another call, in the future so we can go over some more in-depth stuff or take on questions that, pop in your head over time and all that fun stuff. So we're just trying to provide options, people. We know that everyone wants to do better financially. Times are tough no matter what country you're in. If you're in the debt box ecosystem, there's a never-ending parade of FOMO. Right? There's always opportunity. There's always tokens. There's always a sale. There's always a minting that you need to do. There's always something. So if you had an extra source of funding on the side that was coming in that could cover all of that, it might make your life a lot easier to set up those big profitable long-term debt box possibilities that we're all excited for. So with that, thank you so much for joining us on the call, Eduardo. I really do appreciate your time. It's so cool that you are someone who knows how to pass the exams, someone who's already passed the exam, who's helped other people pass the exam. And you also provide a great option for those who want to be purely passive, for those who aren't ready to learn the trading or don't have the time to invest. I think it's fantastic that you're doing it. So really grateful to have you. Hopefully we'll have you on another call again in the future. Some people just couldn't make this timing. We didn't give them a whole lot of notice, but we'll get another call in the future and get some more people. And for those of you who are connected to me in any way, you heard the call, so we're connected somehow. So just message me on Telegram and I can connect you guys up. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
Take care. Thank you very much, Terry, and see you soon. Have a wonderful week.
You too. Have a good